So this is probably gonna sound like I'm complaining in this video, but I'm not really. I know that most teenagers are like, oh, I'm so misunderstood and no one knows what I've been through and all these dramatic things. I get that. Well, I mean, I get that most people think that teenagers are just complaining and they don't know what they're talking about, which is true. But this isn't that kind of misunderstanding that I want to talk about. I want to talk about people not understanding how your brain functions and your perspective on things and how past events have changed you. Because I think my parents missed that. And my parents are like the people who constantly misunderstand me. And I usually don't let it bother me. But a couple weeks ago, my dad went to a conference and he got some books. And he got two for my brother and I. Well, two separate. And he got them for like specific reasons. And so he gave my brother some like covenant theology books or something like that. Some theological thing that I would probably find interesting. And then he gave me these two books that you probably can't see the names of, but they're written by women, and I usually don't like women authors, but yeah, he said he gave them to me because he wants me to be more joyful, because he doesn't think I'm a joyful person, because he knows that I've dealt with depression and addiction, and so that makes me a depressing person. But I think the thing that they miss is that my brain doesn't function how some people's brain does, and a lot of times in my writing and stuff, I always go to the dark side first before I go to the light, because I feel that if you talk more about the dark side, like at the beginning, that it makes the light look so much brighter. And that's how I think. My parents don't get that. And my parents think that they can read people so well and everything, and they can't. My dad is very set on reading people and thinking that he is right on what he reads of people, but he can't read me very well. And I'm not being all totally against my dad, because I love my dad, and he's amazing, but sometimes he doesn't get things right. And he doesn't read me right, and that's hard, and usually I just push it all down and forget about it, because I don't like thinking about being misunderstood by my family, but the whole book thing reminded me of it, and it made me really sad, because I felt like that my family should understand me the best out of everyone else in the world, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, everyone who you know doesn't have to understand you, and it's okay if some people don't, even if they are your family. And that's kind of hard to think about, but at the same time, it's okay, because I realize that the people who I write for are the people who understand me the best, because they've been through some things. And even one person said that she was glad that someone would choose to write from the dark side first, to think about how dark it is, because a lot of people stray from that, and they just want to go on the light side. But I think that I have a theory in my head that if you think about how dark the dark side is, then it makes the light side look so much brighter. And a lot of people understand that, and the people who I write for understand that, and I think that's what matters most. And so even though people don't understand me all the time, it doesn't mean that I need to put up my walls and just block everyone out and stuff. I mean, I should explain myself when I have the opportunity, but at the same time, it's okay if they don't understand, because it's not the end of the world, and as long as my audience understands me, that's what matters most. And I hesitate in showing my family, my writing and stuff, because they always think, oh, you're so dark, and all these things. Yeah, I am dark, but not as dark as you think I am and stuff. And so sometimes it's hard, and I just have to realize that some people aren't really meant to understand, and you don't have to shut them out for that reason, but at the same time, you don't have to let it break you down to realize that they don't understand. And so yeah, it's okay being misunderstood, but as long as as long as my audience understands, then I'm okay. And so yeah, I needed to get that out because it was on my mind and I had no one to talk to about it. So yeah, there we go.